Hi, how's it going? I'm gonna save you probably $3,000 today, maybe more. If you happen to have a General Motors product that goes reverse but doesn't go forward. I was driving my car, came up to a stop sign, boom, went to go, nothing. Well, what the heck? I was shifting through the gears, it had reverse. So I backed home. Good thing I was only about 6, 7 blocks. Get here and I'm doing research on the web going, hey, what, it just doesn't make sense. How come it can go backwards, not forwards? If there's something catastrophic with the transmission, I would expect it to just be making noise, not moving at all, whatever the case may be. Anyhow, I checked, I was looking, researching for hours. Pretty much all I seen on the forums were, oh, needs a tranny. Oh, needs a tranny. Now, the thing is with forums, and I'm pretty blunt, there's a couple different types of people. One that just talk or type to hear themselves type. They have no freaking clue what the hell kind of advice they're giving somebody. They just have to blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? The way I look at it, unless you know what the answer is or are pretty damn sure you got the answer, just shut up. You get all this stuff in the way of people such as myself trying to find out information on how to fix my car. Now, I finally was content with okay, everyone says it must need a tranny. I can get it. It doesn't move. Okay. So I pulled the pan, jacked it up, and everything in the pan looked good. No metal, no abnormal anything, just normal tranny stuff. So, okay, well, at that point, it was late in the night. I said, okay, I'll deal with it tomorrow. I'll pull the transmission, which involves in this car pulling the whole subframe out the bottom because that's how they designed it. You know, that I ain't going to give engineers too much crap for, but I will give them crap when they got it coming. Well, so I run across after the next morning, I run across a form that the person had gave information. Someone asked, "Hey, my car goes backwards, doesn't go forwards. Does anyone know what that might be?" And of course, you got one or two morons in there that don't have a freaking clue, and oh, it needs tranny, sun gear, all this other stuff. Well, I'm not saying it can't be the case, but I'm guessing they don't have a freaking clue. So this person said, well, yeah, it happened on my mom's car, and it was a supply line. Okay. Well, there's a big difference of a whole tranny being bad and a supply line. Okay. I was ready to pull this whole thing out, go get another one. It would have cost a ton of money, ton of labor. Just, I mean, in my labor, just to get it in and out and back on the road. Well, sure enough, I went and looked at this person's suggestion about supply line. Okay. Well, and I'll get under there and show you here in a minute, but these bolt into, well, they're in the transmission pan, so they're accessible once the pan, if you're doing just even a normal fluid and filter change. Well, what happened is you'll see this one here that's welded up. It it split where it goes into the bracket. Well, okay, now we're going to talk about engineers. Okay, this is when they should be just four knuckle back cracked. Okay, because the thing is that that should never break. It's sitting. It's in one place. Doesn't move. It's not a moving mechanical part. Those I can see. Hey, everything's going to break. This thing sits in a pan, bolted stiff. It shouldn't ever break. There's no excuse for it. So this is a legitimate, what I would say, defect. You hear that word thrown around a lot. Oh, defect, defect. If it goes out too soon, it's a defect. Well, majority of them, it's a mechanical thing. It's going to break. It spins, it moves, it does something. This does nothing other than direct fluid where it needs to go up in the pan. this should never break, but it did. So I guess that's one issue with engineering that I have. On simple crap gets screwed up. But I guess I'm equally as confused and upset that, and everyone thinks that if they have a problem, oh, it's a common problem. Okay, it must be a common. Well, I've been in actually the car business for years, and the vast, vast majority of all car issues are common issues to a vehicle. Type, kind, whatever, what year. The vast majority. Okay, now this here, just doing my research, I've seen it mentioned a lot where it goes backwards, doesn't go forwards. And other than the one, which I got to give credit to the person, it was on the G6ownersclub.com, and it was, the name was was No 694 Terry. I thought that was kind of funny. Uh, but that person, whoever it was, thanked the heck out of them. They saved me a ton of money, and I'm hoping to maybe save other people money. Because the problem is, if these yo-hos that don't know how to diagnose vehicles are checking out your transmission, whether it be a dealer, an independent, whatever the case, and they recommend, oh, yep, it needs a transmission. It's inside, it's broke, blah blah blah. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes that's the case. This case, they would have sold me a transmission. They would have never known that line was cracked. They would have sent it in as a core, put a new one in, or a reman, or whatever the case may be, and I would have been out a ton of money. I wouldn't have known the difference because it would have been fixed. They wouldn't have known the difference because it would have been fixed. They didn't actually diagnose it. They just shotgunned the thing. They replaced the part. It worked. Okay, so I'm just trying to hopefully save some people money. If you have a GM product that goes backwards, doesn't go forwards, happened all of a sudden, no warning, no noises, I'm willing to bet this is your issue. Now, could have bought a new one at the dealer. I think they're like $230. Could have got one out of a junkyard, something like that. I elected, just because it was a clean break, just had it welded. Okay, I air checked it. It's all good. I'm going to put it back in, and we're going to see what, hopefully this thing moves. Now, I wasn't planning on making this video, so I didn't like, hey, here's how you jack it up, here's all you do, this other stuff. I was already into it. But I'll bring the camera down underneath and just show you kind of where this goes and how it goes in there once I get to that point. I'll be right back. Okay, we're under the car now. Here's transmission pan, which is removed. Let me get some light on the subject. There's never, ever enough light. All right, now this piece here bolts with 4 bolts right up in here, and the other side, which you can't see from my stupid ass arm, but bolts right in here. I'm going to bolt that up and then put the pan back, the filter, the pan on, and fill it with fluid. We'll see what happens. Now, here comes engineer issue number 2. Okay. Now, whoever designed this, not only should I have 4-knuckle back crack, they should have a foot upside the head by Chuck Norris, which we know what that would happen. Bam, boom, dude would be gone, because Chuck Norris he's so fast he can run around the earth, punch himself in the back of the head. Whatever. What can you say? But they don't have dipsticks. Okay. No big deal, whatever. Well, that's fine, I guess. It's stupid. Oh, it's a fill for life. Well, no, it says every 50,000 in the manual if it's severe usage, which severe usage is basically anywhere other than a little narrow strip of the United States that stays a perfect temperature, I guess. I don't know. But basically, it does need to be changed, should be flushed, so forth. But you can't check it with the dipstick. So if you got a slight leak, you don't know if it's low or not. The procedure these absolute imbeciles came up with for people, everyone, whatever, they're mechanics, us, me, you, everyone, to determine the fluid level, and that'll be later on in the video, is asinine. I can't, I cannot put it any nicer than asinine. In fact, I could put it a lot worse. But basically, in a nutshell, you put the thing up, all four wheels off the ground, level surface or level jacking up deal, and there's a plug you pull out of over by the right side drive axle housing. You pull the plug out, and if fluid runs out, it was over full. If there's doesn't run out, then you got to add. Well, you got to do it while the thing is running, number one. And the plug deal is situated about yay far from the exhaust, so it's going to get hotter than shit. I mean, what? Come on, really? That's what you came up with? You couldn't put a dipstick in, but you made this conglomeration of dangerous potential burning issues to just check your fluid level. Well, we're going to get to that point. I'm going to button this up. I'm going to bolt that part in, put the filter in the gasket. You guys know how to do that. And if not, that's, I guess, whatever. Watch a video on that. But I wanted to just make you aware of those lines because, once again, it goes from, a $3,000 repair or better, or lower if you're going to, do it yourself. And if you're going to get maybe salvage your parts, it goes from that to basically a transmission fluid and filter change and maybe some welding on a line and or line. Okay, it bottom line, it reduces the expense of the repair dramatically. And there's not enough information on the web, none other than that one blurb that states that. Now, I believe General Motors should have that information out there. So if I Google my car goes backwards, doesn't go forwards, pop it up. Grow some balls and shit, figure it out. Let us have some information rather than hoarding the information because you don't want to look bad. Well, you know what? You already look bad, especially these engineers with this fluid checking system that's a whole nother ballgame. But anyhow, I will get all that buttoned up, show you how we have to check the fluid. It's ridiculous. All right, thanks.